Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Tensions in the Middle East have just reached a new and dangerous level. In a stunning announcement that has shocked military analysts around the world, Iran has officially unveiled what it calls its multi-headed monster. A next-generation ballistic missile system capable of carrying multiple warheads, each able to strike different targets simultaneously. This is not just another missile test. This could completely reshape the balance of power across the region. Iran's defense ministry made the announcement from a heavily guarded facility near Tehran. State television showed dramatic footage of the missile. Massive, sleek, and equipped with an advanced guidance system being transported under tight security. The missile, named Kabar Shika, is believed to be an upgraded version of Iran's earlier solid-fueled ballistic missiles, but with one major difference: it can deploy multiple re-entry vehicles. This means a single launch could hit several enemy targets, and that is exactly what has Israel, the United States, and much of the West on edge. According to sources in Tehran, the missile is capable of carrying up to 5 independent warheads, each programmed to target separate locations. The Iranian military claims it has a range of over 2,500 kilometers, covering every corner of Israel, most U.S. bases in the Middle East, and even parts of Europe. Just hours after the announcement, alarms reportedly went off across Israel's defense establishment. The Israeli military's top brass immediately held an emergency meeting, led by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the IDF's chief of staff. The concern is simple. If Iran truly possesses multiple warhead technology, Israel's famed missile defense systems, the Iron Dome, David Sling, and Arrow 3, might not be able to handle the overwhelming volume of incoming warheads. Military experts say this could represent a strategic nightmare for Israel. Unlike single-warhead ballistic missiles that can be intercepted with a single defense unit, multi-headed or MIRV-equipped missiles can overwhelm defenses by launching several warheads from one missile. Even if most are intercepted, one could still break through, and that's all it takes to cause devastation. Iranian officials celebrated the missile's unveiling as a symbol of national strength and resistance. During the ceremony, Iran's Revolutionary Guard commanders declared, "This weapon ensures that any aggression against our nation will face multiple responses from a single strike." The timing of this announcement is no coincidence. Over the past few weeks, tensions have skyrocketed across the Middle East. Israel's airstrikes in Syria, continued military operations in Gaza, and ongoing confrontations with Hezbollah have put the region on a knife's edge. Iran's new missile could now become a central factor in how these conflicts unfold. U.S. intelligence agencies are closely monitoring the situation. Pentagon sources confirmed that American satellites detected the missile test days before the official announcement. But Washington did not expect Iran to reveal it so publicly. A senior U.S. defense official stated, "This is not just about a missile. It's about deterrence, signaling, and strategy. Iran wants the world to know it cannot be intimidated." Meanwhile, in Israel, media outlets are warning citizens that the balance of deterrence may be shifting. The Jerusalem Post called the development a wake-up call, noting that Iran is sending a clear message. When I see raw facilities or military infrastructure will be met with devastating retaliation. Experts say Iran's decision to unveil the missile now could also be a message to the West amid collapsing nuclear talks and rising sanctions pressure. By showing off a multi-warhead system, Tehran is signaling that it no longer feels bound by international limitations or agreements. In the streets of Tehran, crowds reportedly gathered to celebrate the announcement, chanting slogans of defiance and national pride. Many Iranians see this as a breakthrough, a sign that their country can stand strong despite Western isolation. However, not everyone is celebrating. Across the Persian Gulf, Arab nations like Saudi Arabia and the UAE are deeply concerned. These countries, already nervous about Iran's growing influence, now face the possibility of being within range of a weapon that could devastate entire cities. The reaction from Washington has been swift. The U.S. State Department issued a statement condemning the test, saying it violates multiple UN resolutions and threatens regional stability. American officials have also begun consulting with NATO allies about new sanctions and increased surveillance of Iranian military facilities. But even as Western leaders condemn the move, military analysts admit Iran's progress is real and undeniable. In the past decade, Iran has evolved from importing outdated missiles to producing some of the most advanced designs in the world. Using domestic technology and regional partnerships with countries like North Korea and Russia, there's also growing speculation that Russia may have quietly supported this development, ever since Moscow and Tehran deepened military cooperation during the Ukraine war. Rumors have circulated that Russia might have shared guidance or propulsion technologies in exchange for Iranian drones and artillery shells. If true, this partnership could mark a historic shift, a deepening of the Iran-Russia defense axis, with both countries challenging U.S. dominance in their respective regions. Israel, however, is not standing still. Reports suggest that Israel is now considering the deployment of its secretive Iron Beam laser defense system, designed to intercept short-range missiles and drones at the speed of light. But analysts note that this new system may still be ineffective against multiple long-range warheads. At the same time, the Israeli Air Force has reportedly placed several of its F-35 stealth fighters on high alert, ready to strike Iranian facilities if needed. Satellite imagery shows increased Israeli reconnaissance flights over western Iraq and eastern Syria, areas through which any Iranian missile would likely travel. The United Nations has called for restraint, warning that a single miscalculation could trigger a regional war. But with rhetoric rising on all sides, many fear the situation is spiraling out of control. In Washington, the National Security Council held an emergency session, and officials have reportedly reached out to both Israeli and Iranian intermediaries in an attempt to prevent further escalation. Iran, however, seems determined. Its Revolutionary Guard leadership has declared that the new missile is fully operational and mass production will begin within months. A senior Iranian general even stated, "This is our message to the world. We will not be threatened. Our response will be swift, precise, and unstoppable." For ordinary people across the Middle East, the fear is growing. The memory of past wars still haunts the region, and now, with the introduction of this multi-headed monster, the specter of a catastrophic new conflict looms larger than ever. Military strategists warn that this weapon could alter not just Middle Eastern politics but the entire global military equation. If Iran continues advancing at this pace, other nations from Turkey to Saudi Arabia might feel compelled to pursue their own advanced missile programs, sparking a new arms race. And so tonight, the world watches closely. In Tel Aviv, missile defense units are on full alert. In Tehran, celebration continues. And in Washington, strategists are scrambling to assess what comes next. The unveiling of Iran's multi-warhead missile isn't just about power, it's about psychological dominance. It's Tehran's way of telling the world that the era of intimidation is over. But the big question remains, will this new weapon deter war or ignite one? Only time will tell. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.